Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome. This is Ash. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you are in this part of the world. Today, we're going to continue on with lesson 2. Yesterday, we did our first lesson of the Cashflow Quadrant. Today, I'm going to be breaking down the next step. And in this first chapter, if you can see here on the screen, Cashflow Quadrant, where Robert Kiyosaki talks about the 4 different quadrants. So I'm going to break down each quadrant a little bit more in detail and get into more of the mentality of why people choose certain quadrants. Okay, so as you can see here, there's E, B, S, I, which stands for E stands for employee, B stands for business owner, S stands for small business owner or self-employed, I stands for investor. So a couple of things I want to go scrolling down here, some main key points I want you to take out of this that's really going to help you understand the differences. First of all, he talks about what it takes to be in each of the quadrants. You can be rich or poor in any one of the quadrants. This is interesting. So as you mentioned yesterday, we talked about being successful at a job is financially free. That's about it. You can make a lot of money in a good paying job. The challenge with that is doesn't leave you with other benefits in life, which is time freedom, quality of life. And the other thing I have about working for someone else is you are being told what to do. And even as a business owner, sometimes you're being told what to do, but it's being told what to do from a client perspective, what the customer wants. But I want to go over a couple of key points he mentions here is that having a formal education, as you can see here, he mentions here, most successful people have left school without receiving a college degree. People such as Thomas Edison, founder of General Electric, Henry Ford, founder of Ford Motor Company, Bill Gates, you all heard of him, founder of Microsoft, Ted Turner, founder of CNN, Michael Dell, founder of Dell Computers, Steve Jobs of Apple, and the list goes on. The point that we're trying to make is that if these people have built a huge empires without necessarily getting PhDs or degrees in their life, that still tells you that there's a financial intelligence we're missing. So one of the things I always preach to the younger generation is to look at your financial IQ. Why are these people so successful? Well, it's basically looking at investments, looking at how they generate cash flow from a business, from something that generates a return on investment. See, as an employee, your return on your investment is time. Think about it. You're earning because of your trading. You're giving up your time to get back money. As a business owner, you're doing 2 things. You're giving up some of your time, of course, but you're also giving up some of your capital, and therefore you're able to make more money that way because there's two assets you're giving up to make that income back. Hope that makes sense. Now, one of the things he mentions here is you can be rich in all quadrants, but from a financial point of view. You can't be rich in all 4 quadrants from a time standpoint. Like in other words, having more time for yourself. This is very important. And I want to show you a couple of key points he mentions here that I really like. And that is, he mentions here, there's different ways to earn money. When people asked him and his wife why we were homeless, and he says here, because of the fact that money was as important, but it was more important to have the quality of their life. The quality of life is meaning that if you're the person that's sick and tired of somebody telling you what to do, even though, let's say, you know what's good for you, but after a while, after having a job mentality, you want to have a shift of having your own business. So this is very important, the different methods of income generation. And here's the key point. Look at what he says here. We are taught from his poor dad, he said, I'm not interested in money, or I'll never be rich. I can't afford it. Investing is risky. Money isn't everything. Do you see how these excuses or these sayings we've been born with that limits our ability to get into business or to give up some of our money to make money? Remember, when you make income, most people look at $1 is to pay their bills off. A business owner is looking to take that $1 and quadruple it or even triple it at least. And how do you do that? You have to leverage it. And the way you leverage is through knowledge. Knowledge will always trump income. Knowledge will always trump money. That's income also. So if you have knowledge and you're increasing your knowledge every day, it's like putting money in the bank, although you can't take it out right away maybe, but it's just like investing in your piece of real estate between your 2 ears. It's the most valuable piece of real estate. Why? Because that knowledge going into your head can turn it into taking action. And this is very important. And he says here, like he says in My Rich Dad, what was important was having lots of time to raise his kids, having money to donate to charities and projects he supported, bringing jobs and financial stability in the community, having time and money to take care of his health, being able to travel the world and his family. So if these are, remember, this is the end result of why you're here. When you're building a business, you're focusing on more about not just the process, but the end result. And if your result is to have these 5 things that he's just mentioned here, then I'm going to teach you more stuff here from this that's going to help you understand how you look at business. Let me go a couple of more things here, is that parents are teachers. Think about this. When you were born, right, your parents, and maybe some of you have still parents right now that you're living with, they are your mentors if you think about it. They're keeping you away from bad stuff, putting you in a position where you're going after the good stuff, right? That's what parents are there for. So a mentor is designed to give you the same result, and they have a stake in it, parents, because they want to see you successful because you're part of them, you're part of their blood. And this is why it's very important to focus on having your own business, because it builds independence. Did you know that back in about 200 years ago, back in the 1800s, or even in the early 1900s, 90% of the US population was a business owner, was an entrepreneur. You had the blacksmith, you had the general store owner. Just look at some of the Western movies if you go ever watch them. You'll see back in the 1800s and even earlier than that, most people worked for themselves. They had their own profession. They were farmers even. Even that's a business of yourself. So when you take responsibility of having ownership of your paycheck, you're not relying on a paycheck to paycheck mentality. The problem is we're being conditioned every day to go to school, get a good education, and you'll get a good job, right? So the problem with that is it saps 1/3 of your life into working for somebody you may not even like. Think about it. 40 hours a week. Some of us work 50 hours a week these days, right? That's 40 to 50 hours a week that you could have been spending with your family. And in today's day and age, with the power of the internet, it becomes more prevalent to look for businesses that you can use with a computer device. So one of the things I want to mention is that when you're thinking like a business owner, you have to increase your risk factor. And one of the ways to increase your risk factor, this is going to sound crazy, is to get better at your health. Because when you become healthier, I'll tell you what, when I found that I'm becoming more healthier, I was able to do more things. I was able to take more financial risk. It's weird. But I find that people who are taking care of their health, they are actually avoiding one of the biggest challenges in life, and that is to go to the doctor. So just hope you learned some good stuff on this video today. I'm going to continue on with chapter 2 tomorrow or on the next video. Okay, so make sure you plug in and subscribe to this channel and share this with other people who you know that can help them with building their financial IQ. Having said that, I wish you all a great day. Thanks for being here.